Man, this semester sucks. It's almost over, but I feel like nothing's changed. No one even takes me seriously.
Come on, let's go. Go.
Come on, let's go.
Everything that you do in this class, backs of the NAS. How does it work? Computers, servers, local area network. Whoo, whoo. All in a circle. What does that remind you of? Circle of life, my friends. The circle of life. Everything is connected. Those Ethernet cables, all that stuff, everything is connected. In the circle of life. It's the circle of life. All right, what happened? Put on the lights. Come on, let's go.
What's going on?
Put on the lights. Let's go.
It's been 3 months since NHS fell into darkness. There seems to be nowhere left to turn.
It's been a long time.
Master Wayland, we need you. It's been 3 months. We need you to fix this.
I died with the NAS. My baby. My baby. She's gone. I can't!
We're sorry for your loss, Mr. Whalen, but we need your help.
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny that you would need my help, Thomas.
Why would you? It was you. But why?
Because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being the laughingstock of the transcript. All I do is get mocked on the transcript. It's silly roles. It's eat your phone, Thomas. It's be the jokester. Be the comedian of the transcript. I don't get casted in anything serious. Nothing. When is it my turn to shine? Everyone else, they do nothing. I'm the star of the show. I'm in every shot. Every segment has me. When is it my turn?
But the students.
What about them? They're useless. Useless, worthless vermin. None of them are gonna amount to anything. None of them are gonna do anything. I'm the star. I'm the star. I'm the actor. None of you give me the respect I deserve for running this race.
My own best friend. I never would have guessed. What do we do now, Johnny?
We rebuild.
I figured it out. Just another disconnected wire in a mainframe. Whoa, what happened here?
Was this all a bit? Or... Oh my god, did I just kill a student? Or...
Oh my fuck.
17 of the Transcript.
I'm Jane.
I'm Shira.
I'm Kai.
I'm Rose.
And I'm Travis. This week, Thomas and Henry try non-alcoholic alcohol.
We go to Cirque du Soleil.
Talk on the Block asks about AI.
The traffic situation at NHS is investigated.
Hallway Hot Takes does a survey on their segment.
We debut an animated music video.
And we explore the non-budget process.
On Thursday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that, after a last-minute dispute with Hamas, the ceasefire deal that could lead to the end of the 15-month war in Gaza is being held up. This deal would pause fighting and lead to an exchange of some hostages and lead to negotiations for an ending of the war. On Tuesday, the Democrat-controlled Virginia House of Delegates passed a resolution along party lines to enshrine abortion into the state's constitution. If this resolution passes, it must be passed a second time after a legislative election for the amendment to be added to the Constitution. In local news, Holyoke Treasurer Rory Casey, during his re-election campaign ahead of the January 28th election, is pleading with voters to fire him. This statement comes with the message that the treasurer position should be appointed by the mayor and the city councilor, not elected by the people.
What started as a website focused on local delivery, Dry Humor, a non-alcoholic liquor store, will be opening their first retail location on Union Street in East Hampton sometime this month. Today, Thomas and Henry taste some of these drinks later in the episode, and we interview the owner to learn more about their purpose.
So I quit drinking in 2023, late in December, and I was sort of struggling on my first few weeks, really wanting to have myself a drink, right? And I was sort of having those conversations with myself, convincing myself that, you know, that's not a big deal. What's one drink? So I figured, let's try a non-alcoholic beer. I used to love beer, so I tried an Athletic, which is one of the most popular non-alc brands out there, and I loved it, and it just really helped me sort of curb my cravings and just get over that initial, I really just want to have a beer or have a drink, and I had one, and I think I realized most of my wanting to drink was really just habitual, and I really just kind of needed that psychosomatic thing in my hand and having something that tasted like beer without really having any of the negative side effects. And so I was enjoying the Athletic, of course, still do, but I wasn't loving having to go back into a liquor store environment per se. I was feeling a little awkward, and it was making me feel a little triggered and uncomfortable. And I also knew there were a lot more options available, just not locally and at our local liquor stores. And so I decided, heck, I'm just gonna buy up a bunch of products from these different vendors and start selling it and say, you know, if it didn't work out and people didn't buy it, at least I'd have it for myself. But after the summer, we did some pop-ups. We had some, we do online sales, and the reception was awesome, and so we feel like there's definitely a market for it, so we're going full stop with a store. So I think it's a group 1 carcinogen, just up there with smoking, and it is linked to, I believe the most recent report was like 7 different types of cancer, particularly breast cancer in women for sure. So yeah, that's the big real, you know, people quit smoking, and there is this big war on tobacco, and I think, you know, we're not going to see as intense of a demonization of alcohol as we did with smoking, but it's just as dangerous, if not more. So yeah, I definitely think it's time, you know, we really take to heart what the Surgeon General is saying, and heed the advice and just cut it out of our lives.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out Dry Humor when it opens.
We do not endorse youth drinking of alcohol. Now let's begin.
All right, so we're starting off with Deep Roots ginger beer. It's fully alcohol free.
This is all I do. All I do is review ginger beer. I'm gonna know what it tastes like.
Yeah, he's a connoisseur. He knows what he's talking about.
This is a good ginger beer. It's gonna be good.
Nice and cold.
Yeah.
All right, here, you're pouring it for me.
This looks like it might have the addition of some other stuff in it. Let's say, pineapple juice.
Interesting. That's not as bad as I expected.
Yep. It's really light, it's really crisp, it's not very sweet at all. The pineapple juice doesn't overpower the rest of the drink. It adds like a really subtle, depth of flavor. It's like a little
nice
tropical.
Little sweet tone, yeah.
It's nice. Our next drink will be the Sunshine State Tropical IPA, made by Go Brewing.
I'm not excited for this one.
I'm not excited for this one either.
Oh, that looks like just like mango juice to me. Wow.
This looks like the mango monster. Are you ready to dive in?
I'm very ready. Oh,
that's actually not that bad.
I'm not a big fan.
The barley taste is very pronounced.
Yep.
Mango's really subtle. The peach is really subtle.
So I'm surprised because I smelled a lot of mango. I don't smell what I'm tasting.
This would probably be great if I was old enough to think alcohol tasted good. This would probably be delicious.
I can see that.
This would be like how Mango Monster tastes right now to me in like probably like 10 years. And we'll be moving on to our next one now. This is called Uncool, salted caramel, apple sour, near beer.
I'm excited.
Very
oh no.
Oh, hopefully we're not disobeying any flag.
I think we
rules.
Definitely are. I think there's no way this is not like a violation of the flag rules. I don't know what they are.
But this is America and we have freedom of speech.
Exactly. You can't.
And that's why I love this country.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, interesting.
You can definitely taste the apple.
It's definitely sour too. I can taste the salt. Wow, that's actually
kind of nuts.
very accurate.
Yeah,
to the
that's
taste.
kind of insane.
Now this isn't something that I would like drink, like I would like purchase and drink myself, but it is very interesting, like having like all the hints. So next up we have Atmos Brewing. We have their Oktoberfest. So I think this is going to be a very beer tasting beer because the Germans, they love their drinking.
Yes,
they love their beer.
They love their beer.
Especially.
It's a cornerstone of German culture.
Yep.
And we're excited to dive into it now.
We're gonna experience this. Oh wow.
Oh.
We got some nice foam right here. Let's pour
it's
this.
a very heady brew.
Oh. That's looking like some that is looking like some beer if I've ever seen it.
That is wow. So we gotta say cheers in German because it's a German drink.
How do you
Prost.
Prost?
Prost.
Prost. All right.
Yeah, it's very beery.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could drink beer, and if I did drink beer, I would love this.
There's a lot of different like notes you can
tell
taste.
You can tell that this is of a higher caliber.
Yep. Thank you, Atmos.
Thank you, Atmos.
And thank you to the Germans for
thank you to Germany
making a great
for
beer.
this.
Yep.
We would like to thank the owner of Dry Humor in East Hampton for helping us create this video.
Cirque du Soleil is the largest circus performer in the world and has gained significant fame throughout the years. Recently, they staged a performance in Worcester, their North American debut of their new routine, OVO. We spoke with performers and organizers to learn more about this experience.
OVO started in 2009, so that's 15 years ago. We actually celebrated 15 years this year. And at first it was created for a big top, where we come in with a big tent and we usually stay in a city for 2 or 3 months. We did that around the world a couple times, and then in 2016 we changed the show from big top to arena to allow it to live longer and to go to different markets. For that we already had like a restaging in 2016, toured around the world, and now 15 years later the stage needed a bit of love. We needed to change some technical elements, and that sparked the restaging that just happened.
We also just came out of a revamp, which is a very different schedule than when we're on tour, and that was long. We were doing 12-hour days, 6 days a week. And that was long. So that was also difficult.
We had a choreographer come in for the refresh. His name's Matt, super lovely. And essentially what he did is he took old videos and he looked at what they're doing now, what they did then, and then took the direction from all of the creatives to make a hybrid of all of the things, because he wanted to keep the essence of the old show. So it went through a bunch of different opinions and processes to get to where it is today.
Yeah.
The challenge for revamping OVO was mainly that we kind of like rebuilt everything from scratch. So all the light was new. We have to rebuild every cable, more like LED. It's less old school lights, so that's a big improvement for us.
I would say the largest changes include new costume, new makeup, new props, new stage, new music, new artists. But aside from that, it's pretty much the same.
So in the end, it was a very large process, so a year long in the making. What was really interesting for this one is also we worked with pretty much all of the original creators. It was like the people who created it 15 years ago, and here's also the team that has been touring the world with it. And that hybrid never happens usually.
I think that there's a lot of different themes, but something I find really interesting for myself to explore is the idea of the egg. So there's this unknown with it, and it's the way the community reacts to the unknown that brings them together, just pulls them apart in some ways. It's really interesting, and I think that that's a big parallel to life. It's like, how do you react to the unknown? Do you conquer it? Are you curious about it? Does it make you strong? Does it make you cower, you know?
The underlying, storyline is a love story, but I think that the quote-unquote meaning of the show itself is pretty open-ended, and so it's really kind of up to the viewer to decide what they take from it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to look out for new Cirque du Soleil updates by checking out their social media.
Welcome back to Talk on the Block. Artificial intelligence seems to be everywhere around us, from your phone, social media, to judging your taste in music. We talked to the strangers of downtown Northampton to find out if AI is a super evil genius or if it's my best friend. Let's go talk on the block. Have you ever used ChatGPT?
Of course.
Of course. Do you love ChatGPT?
More than my own parents.
If ChatGPT asked to marry you right now, would you do it?
No, I think it's a guy.
Do you think that you are more capable than artificial intelligence?
It depends on the subject. I'm going to err on the side of generally speaking, no.
Do you think artificial intelligence is going to take your job?
I don't think it matters one bit.
What is the subject that you think you would beat AI?
Vegetable farming in southeast New England.
Do you think AI is taking over our world?
Well, if my students are any measure, yes. I mean, they're using it to write stories and poems in a creative writing class, which is supposed to be a fun release from the more academic critical writing.
What is your favorite creative use for artificial intelligence?
Great, another tool to replace actual creativity with soulless machine garbage.
There's no heart in the AI-generated work that I've received.
Do I think artificial intelligence
is conscious?
Well, I don't know how to spell conscience.
That's okay.
So that's a problem.
Yeah? Do you think artificial intelligence could help you?
I don't think so, because I don't really know what artificial intelligence is, because I'm not that intelligent.
Do you think artificial intelligence could help you be more intelligent?
Well, you know, you never know. You can't be sure.
Do you trust self-driving cars? No. Do you think we're living in a simulation?
I think it could be, because, you know, simulation is all about simulation.
Would you ever participate in an artificial intelligence takedown competition?
I would physically fight a robot and I would destroy any servers that ran one.
Well, because, you know, you've got simulation on the right hand and non-simulation on the left hand. Then you come into the middle. Aristotle said the mean between the extremes is simulation.
Donatello, what do you think about artificial intelligence taking over our world?
AI's cool and all, but it's up to us to keep it in check. Just like making sure pizza doesn't burn in the oven.
I mean, all we need is robots to do the work now, and then and then we can eliminate the human race, which is kind of predatory on the environment, and maybe the rest of the planet will survive without us.
Thank you so much for watching Talk on the Block. We talk to the unintelligent, the intelligent, and the artificially intelligent about the impacts of AI on our simulated world. My producer is Ellie Hariandani, my artificial producer is River Burnell Wojcik, and I'm Travis Emerson, and that was Talk on the Block.
In 2022, following a fatal accident involving a cyclist outside the high school, Mayor Gina Louise Sciarra requested the engineering firm Fuss & O'Neill to study the intersection between Route 9 and Elm Street and to analyze possibilities to improve safety. The plan aims to improve the safety and efficiency by redirecting bus traffic through a new bus loop in front of the school, adding traffic lights at all pedestrian crossings, and sealing off the former bus loop for safe and accessible parking. This week, we sit down with the mayor, students affected by the intersection, as well as the director of Public Works to learn more about the proposed changes.
I first became involved in looking at how to make the whole traffic situation in front of the high school and near the high school safer when I was a city councilor. There had been many accidents. So of course there was a fatality, which is so tragic, but there had been over 20 accidents over the last few years. So this is obviously a real safety concern.
The goal of this plan, the problems that we seek to fix, are a more orderly flow of all traffic. So that would be vehicular traffic, pedestrian traffic and bicycle traffic through this corridor. Ultimately, the goal is to make safer passage for all users.
There was a tragic accident with a cyclist on Route 9 outside of the school, I think a couple years ago. And so they're not having bike lanes through that section of Route 9 is another issue that the project will address. Last year, apparently there were 6 accidents between student vehicles and buses.
And I was crossing that crosswalk right there, and there wasn't much light around, so I don't really remember what happened because I got a concussion, but all I remember is that I started crossing and then I ended up on the ground a couple seconds later.
So what really spurred this project was a review of all of these incidents and acknowledgement by the city that we needed to do something to make the area safer.
The main recommendation from the engineering study was to have 2 signalized intersections. That way you slow the traffic and you actually stop the traffic for pedestrians. The new bus loop will be located where a bus loop used to be a long time ago. So actually right in front of the high school, you can sort of still see the vestiges of it. There used to be a roadway that went through there.
As we bring the bus loop back in that location, we have made some significant changes to how it was originally set up decades ago when it was in service.
So the buses will be able to more easily enter and exit that bus loop. There'll be 2 traffic lights to try to regulate the flow of traffic on Route 9.
But what we're going to do there is we're going to direct the buses and they're going to go one way through there. No other vehicles will be allowed, except emergency vehicles like an ambulance could go through there, but it'll be restricted to buses. There will be actually a mechanical restriction, we think like a stop arm, a way that no other vehicles can get through there so that any students that are passing through there will be safe. And the reason that it's now safer to have buses come through there is that you will have those 2 lights, those 2 signals, which will allow the bus to very safely get onto Route 9.
There's a lot of classes that like to use the grass outside the school for some experiments. I'm sure there are other solutions that could work better than this.
At the completion of this project, we expect that all users of the roadway system around the high school will experience enhanced levels of safety. So the expectation is that once this project is completed in the future, all users of the roadway system around the high school will experience a very enhanced level of safety.
Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments about the proposed plan, you can email the city at the link below. See you next semester.
Welcome to Hallway Hot Takes. This week, being the last week of the semester, we gave people in the halls the opportunity to criticize and give their honest opinion on the segment. What people will say will ultimately decide the fate of Hallway Hot Takes. Let's hit the halls, maybe for the very last time. What is your hot take on Hallway Hot Takes? What is your opinion on the segment?
I'd never watched the transcript and I don't care. The end.
Wow, do you think it should continue as a segment next semester?
I think you guys can do whatever you want and I still don't care.
I think I like it overall. I think that could be like a little more abstracted, like maybe it could be like sillier questions or stranger questions or like stranger cuts. Like I think the format's kind of predictable. But it's fine. It's good. Given the parameters that I'm interested in, which is like stranger, more variety of cuts or shots, I guess I should say. I think like it should continue, but like let's expand it. Let's not do the same thing. Stranger questions, move the cameras around more, I think. Yeah.
We'll really take that feedback to heart. Thank you so much.
I like the segues, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like this segment because I think it's very funny catching people off guard and you get a pretty honest reaction that, with opinions that you might not hear otherwise. I don't think there's a lot of great transcript segments right now. You know, sometimes they misspell your name. That happened to me.
It's spontaneous. We get to see different students and it's fun.
I really like it. I find it really memorable. Every time I watch a transcript, that's one of the main parts I remember. I think it's created a lot of fun moments, and I get to see people I see around school share their opinion on the transcript.
So you'd like to see it continue next semester?
Of course.
Is there any segment that you would rather see instead of Hallway Hot Takes?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, I love the segment, of course.
You can tell us the truth.
Yep, I love it. Everybody has their own opinion, and, you know, Everybody's got to hear their own opinion, you know?
Should the segment continue next semester?
100%, no doubt. 100%.
I like hallway hot takes because I appreciate the diverse opinions I get from Northampton high school students.
You can be honest if you don't like it.
I hate it.
Do you think the segment should continue next semester?
Please, for the love of God, no.
What segment should replace it?
Anything. Really, I would take anything.
Thanks for watching. Approval rates were surprisingly high, so we will be hitting the halls again. See you next week for new and improved hallway hot takes.
Hi, I'm Kai Petrie.
And I'm August Santos, and welcome to the season finale of Weekday Wake Up.
The capital improvement plan of Northampton has been unveiled for the next 5 years. And once again, it diverts money from schools. Thank God we can finally have another statue of Raphael downtown instead of, paying our teachers.
A pipe exploded in the Iota Gamma fraternity and sorority house over the Christmas break at UMass Amherst. This incident spurred after one of the frat brothers realized that someone was using the bathtub and there was no other place to make jungle juice.
A Cybertruck blew up outside the Trump Hotel in Vegas last week. And thanks to Elon Musk, we have no clue if it was an actual threat or he just sucks at making cars.
Justin Trudeau has announced his resignation as party leader in Canada this week. His decision did not come lightly, but ultimately he decided to step down in worries of being shot down like every other smoking hot politician.
This Friday, today, Donald Trump will be sentenced for his 34 felony charges. This means when he takes office in just under 2 weeks, the White House will have to be put on, a certain neighborhood registry.
Jimmy Carter has died at the end of December after reaching 100 years old. Most would like you to believe it was natural causes, but family members say that he died right after hearing Charlie XCX's album Brat.
Mitch McConnell, seen here, doing a poor impression of a pirate, fell down a flight of stairs on Capitol Hill last month. It's reported that he was attempting to outrun the Grim Reaper.
A bluefin tuna the size of a motorcycle sold for $1.3 million at an auction in Tokyo, weighing over 600 pounds. The owner was disappointed when he realized that yes, there's always a bigger fish.
An 8-year-old boy recently survived 5 days in a dangerous lion-filled reserve in Zimbabwe, managing to survive by only eating fruits and digging for water. I just wish that's how it could have gone on that fateful day in the Cincinnati Zoo. Rest in peace, King. We miss you.
The donkey who served as a model for the Shrek films recently passed away. Shrek, regretfully, was unable to save his ass. Thanks so much for watching. I'm August Santos.
And I'm Kai Petrie.
And we're thankful we made it all this time without SNL suing us. See you next season.
1, 2, 3, 4. I woke up despite my head to see the trail I blazed last night with the words I said. Still she laid there in the charred and smoking wake of fears I fed. Then she got up to look around, muttered words I'd never heard a human sound. Then from her hair grew 40 serpents, from her eyes a fiery shroud. Her mouth came 40 voices and I heard them cry loud. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. I tried my best to calm her down. There wasn't any other left but the evil now. I cast a spell, a stone, a tranquilizing needle, and a prayer. She grabbed me by the bones and shook my flesh and said, I swear, the sun won't cast no shadow anymore. The willows never weep and the wind will never mow. The sun won't cast no shadow anymore. The willows never weep and the wind will never mow.
So cute.
Jeremy will pick you up.